recording. So we got the recording going. So it's August 12th, Wednesday, another live trading session. Mixing get started as always, and welcome everybody to the session, new and old.
Awesome. Perfect, guys. So as you guys know how these things go, some of you veteran webinar goers know that we start off on DXY every time. So this is because DXY makes up for 80% of all trade, and this DXY essentially is the US dollar strength. So it's always a good idea to see what the dollar is doing on a daily basis. So we'll come in, we'll take a look at the overall sentiment, see if anything's changed, drop time frames, take a look at more current price action, and start kind of plotting out, price action destinations, seeing where it's going. All right, so we're going to go on the daily time frame first. We can see that this was clearly bullish. We had a huge transition here as it broke support, and now we're in this lower range. So basically, as we broke into this lower range, we're looking to continue this trend. So we're pretty much just looking for further bearish movement at this point. So let's go ahead and drop to the 4-hour and see what current price action is telling us. All right, so here's the, and now we're consolidating. So price action pushed to the low around 92.8. And now again, we're consolidating. So from here, we ideally, the best option here would be, to form structure and then continue with the trend. So that means we want to see 38.2 at least hit and then, continue lower. We want to see a lower high form in this area, closer to the monthly, closer to 38.2. You could even go as high as the 50% here because the 200 EMA is there as well. So there's a lot of confluence in this area. So any sort of pullback, confirm lower high, and then continuation to the downside would be accurate. It would be, true structure formation. And then, we'd be pretty confident in further bearish movement. So then we could just target lower. All right. Now we are moving up, here a little bit on the lower time frame. It's like a 30-minute trend. And actually a lot of pairs are reacting based on this little bit of bullish movement alone. And we'll get into that in a second. But overall, we're very bearish. Ideally, we want to see that 38.2 hit again, structure formation. But, we could just see this consolidate. So it depends on enter. The safest bet, with all of our rules and our checklist is we want to see structure form first. Okay. So what needs to happen for us to consider, a change of trend here, where we will be more long on the dollar? We want to see a break of this monthly again. We want to see a break to the upside through this monthly, retest as support, and some sort of higher low above this level. Okay. That would then be a pretty big, hint that the trend is changing and that we could clearly be seeing some more bullish movement. All right, so that's DXY, guys. Quick little analysis. Always good to kind of jump in here and see what's going on so we could better gauge the rest of these pairs. Okay, so we're going to move on to AUD USD first. A daily time frame, right, was super bearish. As we can see, it shot down. Huge bullish trend on the 4-hour here. Very, very strong. And then it broke through this monthly zone, kind of erasing these lower highs. So this is a transition to the upside. So we are looking more bullish than bearish on this time frame now, which is good. Okay, so we're looking for bullish movement. Let's drop to the 4-hour. So I actually put this trade out in premium analysis. I'll show you in a second, but it didn't quite play out. Let's see. Premium analysis. Here it is, AU. Okay, so we were in this little bit of an expanding pattern. We were looking for a little bit of a transition here on a 1-hour, a break of 0716, higher low above that lower time frame zone, and then a continuation to the upside. So that's what we were looking for. That was pretty ideal. The 61.8 fib level was there as well. That would have been really nice to see. But as we can see here, it didn't quite play out. So actually, this was a 1-hour chart. I'll drop to the 1-hour for you guys. All right, so it didn't play out, right? It didn't break above that resistance. It actually just kept pushing lower off these MAs. So it actually broke the pattern now, technically, and it looks to be heading towards a lower fib level. So this was part of our original analysis on Sunday, where we had price action bouncing at the 61.8 or potentially pulling back to the 88.6 level towards the support zone down here, where this monthly is at 0708. So it looks like we'll be getting that second option potentially. Not long quite yet, so we can erase that. It broke out of the pattern. So now our next step would be to find some sort of reversal around the 88.6. Okay, so that's what the next move is. I'm gonna let this play out. Look for some sort of deeper pullback, and then lower time frame transitions hopefully some consolidation down here as well, give the MAs a chance to catch up, and then get something like this, where it kind of rejects right off the 88.6, transitions, breaks through, forms a higher low, continues up, something like that, or like over here, where it consolidates, the MAs catch up, breaks through the MAs, gives us a higher low at this level, and then continues higher. So something like that. I'll show you what this bar pattern will look like. Something like this. Okay. Makes sense, right? This is that lower high right here. That was part of this pattern. This little lower high right here, right? Looking for a push lower. Transition, break of key resistance, another higher low, and then just bullish setups all the way. Okay, so that's what we're looking for right now. This is AUD USD. Still looking very, very bullish, promising, but we got to wait for those confirmations, okay? Let's go back to the 4-hour for a second. Okay, here's that larger pattern. This is like a larger expanding pattern as well. More or less a bullish channel. It's still giving us higher highs, higher lows. So this is looking good. Definitely more bullish than anything else. Just waiting for those setups, and then we could target higher towards the negative 27. So let me just plot this trade real quick too, because this could be a pretty big trade. Let's say we get that transition right there. Going to get to the negative 27. About it. What is this? And then your stop loss would be below these levels here, probably about 50 pips. Well protected outside of all of these lows here. So looking pretty good. This is a 3.4 to 1 risk reward. Really great trade. It's a high risk reward, guys. That means we'll risk 1% and we'll get 3.4% in return if this final take profit level hits. Okay, so looking pretty good. As this gets closer to execution, I'll be posting it in the premium analysis section again, like this one was, just like this, but obviously a more updated version as it applies to how the chart's playing out now. All right, so that's good. What needs to happen for us to consider bearish options here? Very easy. We need to see a break of support here. This is the key level that we're looking at. We want to see a break of this support, turn resistance, some sort of confirmed lower high below this level. That would then change our sentiment and our idea of the trend, okay, on this time frame at least. So that's AUD USD. Let's move on to AJ. Daily time frame first, guys. Super bearish, as we can see. Very, very bearish. And then we had this giant 4-hour bullish trend pushing up to our key level, key resistance level at this monthly zone around, what is this, 76.5, flat, nice whole number. So we didn't break this zone yet, but price action is getting kind of squeezed. So we could see it pop kind of soon. Let's see though. So until this zone's broken, it's still overall pretty much bearish. So when this breaks, this could be a pretty large move. We'll make a play up to the top of this range around 80 flat. So let's drop to the 4-hour. Let's take a look. So this looks like a giant. Let's see if this applies here. Let's take a look. We're going to try and identify this pattern here. This looks like a giant ascending triangle, which is good because it's pushing up against this resistance, and we could see this break. The closer it gets and the more narrow this, to get squeezed here. So this could be a really nice play. Nice large pattern, hopefully with an aggressive break. Okay, so yeah, this is basically an ascending triangle right here, as you guys can see that, right? Tons and tons of higher lows. 2 highs here acting as key resistance in the pattern. So it's looking pretty good right now. As price action just squeezes it higher and higher, we're looking for, clearly we're just looking for a break. I mean, there are potential entries here. I know I highlighted a rejection off the 61.8. You could have taken an entry there, but it just doesn't have the momentum just yet. It's kind of just holding here. So let's go ahead and highlight this. A little bit of a box pattern here, or rectangle, whatever you want to call it. Let me just make this a little bigger here so you guys can see this. Okay, I'm going to clear this up. Okay, so because we have a box pattern and because we had rejection at 61.8, so like structure is there, but it doesn't have the conviction. So basically what we want to see is more just of a price action kind of play out here. And I'll show you what I mean. So like there's the box pattern, right? We want to see a break of this pattern and then the overall pattern. So a significant break of this triangle would be super ideal. I'm going to say I want to see it get up to the negative 27 and then pull back and then form some sort of higher low at the top of this pattern acting as support. Okay. So something like this is what we want to see. Okay. And then naturally you would refib and then your target would probably be another negative 27 level. All right. So that's essentially what it would look like. I'm just going to get rid of these fibs for now. So we really just want to see a clean break and retest, and then we'll target higher. Okay. I mean, you could make a play based on just a break of this box pattern alone, maybe a lower time frame little break and retest, something essentially something just like this. But either way, you know, we want to get outside this pattern and have the right confirmations that will give us confidence in going long here. But yeah, if this breaks, this could be a pretty large move because again, this is like a daily pattern, daily ascending triangle here. So yeah, as it gets closer to execution, guys, again, I'll be posting in premium analysis like we always do. But yeah, that's AJ, guys. Looking pretty crazy. Pretty good so far. All right, let's keep going. On to UJ next. Yeah, this thing's really surging. I'll get into this in a second on the lower time frame. So first thing, we're on the daily here. Super bearish, right? Very, very bearish. Huge ascending triangle. Price action was squeezing. We had this range here, and then it finally broke this monthly clean break, and then was holding at the 61.8 there. But then it finally, you know, popped above it. So let's go to the 4 hour for a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we were looking to make a short play right in here as it was pulling back to the 61.8. This was really nice to see. It was consolidating a little bit, crossed through the MAs, and then we just needed to see that conviction. But this little support zone, 105.5, held price action. Tons of exhaustion right there. So kind of sad to see. We really wanted to see that break and push lower. It looked pretty textbook. Everything kind of lined up there. But it didn't happen. You know, it just kind of surged higher, gave us this higher low, crossed to the MAs, and now it's pushing back through the monthly into this next range here. So, I mean, even if you just look at this chart, it is primarily bearish still, right? Even if we reverse right up here, let's get rid of these fibs for a second. Even if it reversed right up here, this would still be a lower high, you know? And then we could take, you know, we could see more bearish movement off that. So basically from here, let's consider our trade options here. So from here, you either want to see, right? So I'm still going to be bullish until this 107.4 level is broken, right? So I could see any sort of reversal from here, in which case I'll be looking for entries once I start seeing some lower highs over here, closer to the monthly or below the monthly, and then I'll consider short opportunities, okay? But until that happens, let me get rid of this too. Silver. Let's expand this a little bit more. All right, that's looking better. Cool. All right, so yeah, essentially I want to see some sort of lower high over here that we could then enter on, but ideally below this monthly is where we want to be, okay? So right now we're short until, again, this zone is broken up here, and I'll show you what this layout would look like. 107.4. Okay. So this is when we're going to consider long opportunities, when this level breaks and we get structure. Okay, just like this. Just like that. Okay, cool. So this is what needs to happen for us to consider a long opportunity, and then we could target towards this weekly, which is also the top of that overall range here between 109.25 and 106. So let me zoom out a second. You can see this range. It's constant bouncing in this area. Okay, if we get above 107.4, that's where we're going. We're changing our sentiment. We're going long, entering on any sort of higher low above 107.4 with the right confirmations, obviously. So those are the two options here. We really got to wait on this one. Whichever way it goes, we'll be ready for it. We'll make you guys aware. Okay. But yeah, so like this thing has been surging up. This is what I was talking about earlier with the XY. So like, see how bullish this is? Like US.UJ here is just kind of surging. It's reacting pretty aggressively based on, you know, a little DXY trend here. You know, this little 4 hour trend. It's still just ranging, but it's really not even that big of a push. But yet UJ, is just running with it. Okay, so that's what I was saying. But yeah, these are the two options, guys. So just stay tuned. We'll wait this one out and see how it plays out. All right, so next we got EJ. EJ for the daily time frame. All right, it was super bearish. As you can see, right? Nice volume, big range there in that channel. But then we had a transition here. Daily transition, huge bullish rally, pull back, confirm this higher low, testing the trend line outside of this channel, right? And then continued higher. And now we are surging into our monthly zone. So this is a good sign. Let's go to the 4 hour. This is pretty much what we plotted on Sunday, and it's playing out. So what we said, it was pulling back through the MAs. So we wanted to see an MA pullback to form structure at a fib level. So 38.2 or 61.8. It almost hit the 50% and then gave us a nice bullish variation. 3 candles in a row. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Crossed over the MAs. That would have been a potential entry in itself. Where did this go? Right there. Could have been an entry. Okay. Nice. Would have been pretty good. And then we would have targeted towards the negative 27 and well into this monthly zone, which, is playing out, as we can see. And if you missed that entry, you did have an entry opportunity on a lower time frame right here on this transition of the MAs. Pushed through the MAs, tested a support, and then took off. All right, so let's go to the 1 hour again, take a look. So this trade is active, basically, because the entry was right here. And it is very close to. So what we need to see is either another pullback to form structure, or we need to see either a transition here or a break of the monthly to continue with this trend, and so on. So yeah, here was that transition, right? This little box represents those 3 4-hour candles, 3 bullish 4-hour candles. But then there was also an entry right here. MA cross, tested support, 200 EMA caught it, pushed it higher. Okay, really nice trade. Really, really nice trade. Okay, so we're clearly still bullish. So let's go over 2 trade scenarios, how you can get in on this. So yeah, basically the only way to get in on this right now is to get in on a pullback. So you really want to see this. Again, another higher low. Retracement. Well, this is actually even higher now because it's pushing through 0. So let's go and refib it. Right, so all depending where price action stops now is going to determine the pullback. If it does reverse at this monthly, let's say it pushes up and reverses at the monthly, you're looking for a long opportunity at the 61.8, and then we're targeting higher. So something like that, right? Or, obviously you're looking for a break of the monthly like this. And then you're going to enter on some higher lows, structure formation above this zone, and then we're targeting higher like that. Key resistance, fib levels, etc. So yeah, looking pretty good. So it would be something like that. Okay, so this is the conservative entry. Wait for a break, retest, enter on a higher low. But if you do want to get in on, a more short-term trade, wait for this pullback, target into the monthly. Okay, so it's looking pretty strong. Definitely bullish as hell. So for us to consider short opportunities, we need to see something major happen. We need to see a lot of supports taken out, and then some lower highs at least. And that would probably happen around this 122.75 level. I want to see a break of all the support, this zone here, 124 flat. I want to see a break of that, break of this zone, lower high, and then we can target lower. Okay, we really need to see a lot to consider any sort of bearish movement here, because this is such a steep trend. Very, very strong, tons of momentum. Okay, so that's EJ, guys. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. But yeah, well, again, keep you guys updated. We'll see how it plays out. Finally, I have gold for you guys, which is pretty interesting. We actually have a pullback for once. Largest bearish candle since March.
Since 1959.
Yeah, geez. So yeah, largest bearish candle since March. The biggest. Interesting. All right, guys. So super bullish on the daily time frame. Easy as hell to see, right? Very, very bullish. Okay, hasn't formed structure yet, so keep that in mind. That could be what this pullback is kind of, hinting at. This could be structure going to form here, and potentially giving us an entry opportunity. So let's see. All right, so we hit here's a 0% established. Pulled back to the MAs, nice little transition. Pulled back to the 38.2, didn't hold, pushed right through that shit. came right down to the 200 EMA and 50% fib level. Okay, so easy to see what happens from here, right? I literally just have to draw one arrow. Literally just need this. Need a pullback. We need to cross to the MAs, and then we need to test the MAs as support, high or low above this zone right at 38.2 at 1940, and then we're entering on some sort of bullish setups over here, right after this higher low, confirming the higher low. Basically, where's this brush? X marks the spot. Right there is where our entry will probably be, something like that. Entering there, targeting higher. Okay, so that's what needs to happen. This did pull back pretty quickly. Blew right through that level. But if it doesn't do this, if it doesn't present this long opportunity, we're going to look for the same thing down to the 61.8 or weekly level. Okay, so we're looking for this then. Something down here. This zone is a nice little confluence zone because 61.8 and weekly. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight this in yellow, showing you guys that this is potential entry zone. Oops, wrong tool. Boom, something like that, okay? And then you're looking for the same thing, some sort of MA cross, lower time frame transition at this level, but ideally we want to get back above this 1940 zone, okay? Essentially looking for the same sort of break and retest, high or low with continuation setups, with bullish setups, you know, suggesting a continuation. All right, so that's gold, guys. Pretty crazy movement, to be honest with you. Absolutely nuts. It's 12th. This thing moved since the, what is this, took a week, 6 days. This thing dropped quite a bit, dropped 10% in a week. I just want to have a pullback. So yeah, we're waiting on this one. And that's pretty much it. Recap for you guys. I covered DXY, AUD, USD, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. So I'm going to pass this off to Angelo. He's going to cover some major pairs for you guys. And yeah, hopefully you got something out of that analysis.
Let's do it. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Hell yeah.
Quality analysis, as always. Let me go ahead.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, dude, you're pretty good at this. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Boom, boom. Okay, this isn't it. This. Okay, let's go ahead and start with USD CAD. If we got any questions, I just posted the giveaway from yesterday for you guys in the chat. So a little delayed on that, but it's out there. Now we got today's giveaway. If you guys want to get in on it, just drop your Discord name in the chat. Get a chance at 25 buckaroos. So just drop your name in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get that going for today.
Not a bad way to start a Wednesday, guys.
No, not at all.
Launches on the league.
Lunches on the league, yeah. Some not some bougie, not some booty ass lunch too. Some nice lunch, $25.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, not like a Lunchables or some shit.
You're like a nice sushi roll or something going.
Yeah, some
sushi lunch, Brian. Hey, he read my mind.
Yep,
exactly. You got a nice Godzilla roll or something.
Oof. All right. Let's start on UCAD. Let's bump up time frames all the way up to the weekly time frame. So UCAD was a pair that we traded earlier in the week. It actually, we signaled this and then it came back to our stop, or we moved our stop to entry and it came back to entry. So let's just like go through this and see where we could potentially get in on it again. On the weekly time frame, overall, still very bearish, you know, red over blue right here. Kind of just one look right now. We've got the support level, this weekly key level that we're at, but as always, until we break lower time frame structure, we're not looking along, you know, until at this point, we're looking at this level. Until this level, I'm gonna move this a little bit higher. Until this level, like right here, is broken, that's when the previous lower high was formed. That is when we will consider long opportunities. And as always, let's just clean this all up a little bit so we could focus here. Here we had an entry, you know, yesterday or 2 days ago that played out yesterday where we had this short opportunity right into the weekly level. We pulled back off. Now look at the 4 hour, guys. We had this 4 hour engulfing. This thing could continue lower. You know, we got to just be patient. Look for the next entry on this. And I'm going to just take this off. And so at the moment, you know, there is no real entry We really need to be patient. This 4-hour engulfing candle didn't really break structure or anything, like that. All the way on this 30-minute time frame, it's just a continuation. We had this lower low, this lower high, this lower low, this lower high. Now we need to just get another pullback. There was an entry last night on this actually at 3:30 a.m. right here. This is where ideally I would have entered, and I would have put my stops. So let's just go over, where we put our stop loss, why. This is the lower high that formed. So if this level breaks up here, we don't want to be in this current trend. So I'm just going to draw this little supply zone right there. Boom. So if that level breaks, we don't want to be in this trade. And if we enter that, this would have been a, pretty good entry. And we just got to maintain the order at this point. So now if we get some sort of pullback, rejection of this area, I'll line this up for you guys. Boom. We get some sort of rejection of this area, we can go ahead, short again, and try to maintain this through this weekly level, see if we have enough sellers to kind of break through there. So this is UCAD, just an example. Entry came in last night, 3:30 a.m. That's Eastern time for us. I was not up looking at this. But, today I will be up. So we'll see if something plays out during the day today, some rejection really of just this area. And I'll grab this across. In the course, we teach a lot about entry zones. I don't draw them anymore because I just visualize them as a Forex master. No, I'm just kidding. But like if I were to draw an entry zone, it would just be.
That's the goal, though, to trade with no lines or anything on the
chart.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got to realize at one point or another, me and Nick had to draw a bunch of lines. You'll see it in the course. Had to draw tons of lines, tons of areas of entries, stuff like that. Now we try to keep it as clean as possible. The only reason I even bring half these things on is for you guys on the live sessions, to be completely honest, because we want you guys to start to visualize and see what we're doing. I can do an analysis on US 30 booty for lunch. No, booty for lunch in one way is good though. So you guys, if you want that booty for lunch, go ahead. But anyway, back to this. So if we get a rejection of this resistance level, and I'm just basing this on this previously, we had resistance here, and this is just like a minor support level on UCAD on the 30-minute, and even going back farther, all these wicks out of this area. All that tells me is that a lot of orders can jump in at this point, enough to send us lower, because previously a lot of volume kicked in there. So let's stick to that. If we come up to this area, we start rejecting the fuck out of it like this, then I will short, put stops in the same place, above here, above the 200-day, everything like that. So that's UCAD. I'm going to move this up. Boom. And I'm going to change the colors. So this is, I'm getting ready for entry on this one. And I will also drop that one in the premium analysis for you guys. Let's go over now to EU. So this is the move that we've been anticipating for a minute out here. Boom. Let's see. Okay, cool. Everyone's dropping their names in the chat. Remember, giveaway. So drop your name in the chat for the giveaway. So let's start up on the weekly time frame. On EU. So weekly time frame is telling us a lot right now. We've got a lot of exhaustion 2 weeks ago. Last week formed this doji candle. This week forming some exhaustion as well. But, until we start to see 4-hour levels of structure break, we're not going to short. We're not going to short yet, guys. So as I bump down to the daily, obviously overall still very bullish. And then I want to get to where I can actually see some higher lows. 4-hour time frame is where I see some higher lows. We had this high here. Let's just go over structure real quick. And a little lesson for you guys, what denotes structure. So we had this higher high, this pullback, moving average crossed, this higher low. And we shot up all the way until this area. We didn't form a higher low. This is all above the moving average here. And all that tells me is that buyers were ultimately in control this whole time until sellers step in, they take control in this uptrend, and then buyers jump back in right here, forming that support level. So that's structure, guys. When momentum shifts and the sellers take control in, sellers in a buyer's market, buyers in a seller's market, and then there's support made. That's structure, guys. That's true structure. That's what you guys should be looking at. All this other bullshit, we used to use our fibs to denote structure, which we still do to an extent, but you guys can look at the moving averages and they can tell you a good story for structure. So right now, what we're looking at is the 4 hour, and we've got this structure level. We had the rejection, of our high, and now we're retesting structure right here. And we haven't exactly broken it yet. We've fallen below and come back, fallen below and come back. We need to like confirm, and by that I mean we need to break below, come back, and reject that level. You know what I'm saying? So that's why earlier in the week, if you look at the analysis, I drew this arrow. Boom, we're looking for price to come down, retest, and go lower. Boom, and then, obviously we've got this level is the 4 hour support level. If we get some sort of 4 hour engulfing, then we're looking to go long. And we're also, with that 4 hour engulfing, guys, we're looking for the moving averages to cross. So if we look here, and I'll always do this, look at previous price action, I'm going to highlight this area, and then I'm going to highlight this area in two different colors, and we're going to jump down time frames, and we're going to take a look at what the hell is the difference, because this reminds me of this, and then this area right here is starting to remind me of this. And this could be the true entry right now. This could be, just being too early on the move. So let's go down to the 30-minute. Let's take a look. What was the difference between these two areas? So as I look at this area, we had lower low here, this pullback, lower high. If I line this off, this was the area that needed to break structure. So this 4 hour, there was three candles, three white soldiers, the bullish candles. That's just a bullish variation. So when this happened, we were just breaking, forming a new high. We don't want to enter here, guys. We want to enter on the pullback. So this following candle that went down, this made a high, pulled back. This is our first higher low. All this right here, as this is crossing. And then if we didn't want to enter here, if we thought we were too early, once this other 4 hour candle closed higher, these are all entry opportunities. We got this one right here. We got this minor pullback, bullish engulfing. Then if you were late, you could have entered on this one, this huge bullish engulfing, taking this higher and higher. So these are all the entry opportunities, and the 4 hour candles, we're just breaking them down to the lower time frame and looking for breaks of structure. So again, this was a low, this was a lower high, this was a low, broke higher, higher high, higher low, and then inevitably this jetted up all the way to this high. So how can we replicate that with what we're doing right now? Let's go to the right. Let's highlight these candles, and let's highlight this candle, and let's take a look and see if we can find any similarities between the two situations that are going on right now in the market. So let's go to the 30-minute. Boom. So we went over this yesterday, and this is a good example because it shows any two situations will never be exactly the same, guys. So this first 4 hour candle did the same thing. We broke structure. We were making lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then we broke, made a new high, pulled all the way back, and we actually broke below this level. We broke below 100% level on our fibs. So if I bring out the fib, boom, fib from this low to this high, this actually broke structure right here. Boom. So I would personally just operate on the side of caution. And by that, what do I mean? So I'm going to take this one off now. Take this one off. That means I'm waiting for like another 4 hour engulfing similar to this. I'm waiting for another break of structure. So basically what I'm waiting for right now is I need this level to break. Much similar to how this broke this level, I need this level to break to make a new high in order to consider long opportunities. So I'm being fairly patient on this. Rightfully so, though. We're still below the 200-day. We're still below this level. We failed to find support at the support level. We broke lower. You know what I'm saying? So technically, this is actually made a lower low. This could be a lower high. So we just need this to break. We need this to break right now. But I won't sit on the 30-minute. I'll stay up on the 4 hour. I don't need to sit on the 30-minute. And this is what we need, guys, right here. we need this to go down. We need these candles, boom, which is already the beginning of it right now, but we need these candles right here, these 3 candles to form above this level. That's where the entry will be. And keep in mind, even if we entered here and we only went into, this would be, 60 pips, 70 pips in profit. At the peak, it was 90 pips in profit, which would have been obviously solid, but we're trying to play out the 4-hour move. So the 4-hour targets are obviously much higher. So we would have had a nice chance to move our stops to break even or take profits, whatever. We're looking for the same thing here. We're looking to get in on the higher low in the 4-hour, and we're looking to ride this thing into the new high on the 4-hour trend. That's our targets. That's why we say we're intraday traders into swing trading. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for the intraday move, but we're looking to maintain that correctly into the 4-hour swing trade or daily, whatever. So that was just a little lesson on EU, going a little more in depth on what we're looking for. We've got GU now. Let's do much of the same. Let's start all the way up on the weekly time frame. My overall bias on GU is bearish in the sense that we formed lower low, lower high in the weekly, retested this lower low. Now we're back up here, at this monthly key level of resistance, forming a doji candle last week. Now we're forming another bearish candle, but we need lower time frame structure to break. And by that, I mean 4-hour time frame. So technically higher time frame, but we need this time frame to break structure at the least. Let me just clear this up a little bit for you guys. So this is still valid. This was like my analysis earlier in the week. Basically what we're looking for is we need this level to break structure. This was a higher low that formed, that was respected here. This level either will break and we will find a retest like this, boom, or we will find that support much like EU, and we will look for that setup and we'll go long on this. So those are 2 opportunities that I'm looking at right now. Either way, you know what I'm saying, we could make it happen. Looks like head and shoulders on the 4-hour on GU. Yeah, I would say this left shoulder is too high for it to be a head and shoulders. What do you think, Nick?
I would not consider that head and shoulders
Yeah.
because the head needs to be significantly higher.
Yeah,
If anything,
needs,
if anything, it's more of a rectangle right now.
Yeah, so this is what Nick I mean, if you were to draw a line from this level, Hanzino, this is not a shoulder. You know what I'm saying? This is a resistance level. You know what I'm saying? This is a support level. So if anything, we're bouncing between this, and a rectangle pattern is a continuational pattern. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just consolidating, building up, and then according to rectangle patterns, what they normally show us, they're normally continuational in a bullish trend at the top. So yeah, that's good though. Like if you guys see something on the charts like Hanzino, participation, definitely participate as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Because it just makes the sessions more interactive. It definitely makes them more beneficial for you guys. These are free. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't have to pay for these. So take advantage of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is definitely a continuation pattern now. It's good to see that this kind of consolidation is happening at the top of a huge bullish trend here. Like we just had this huge leg to the upside here, and now it's consolidating at this high. That's a good sign. Again, it signals a continuation potentially.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's what we're looking for with GU is we're looking to head higher. And again, much similar to this area, this is what we're looking for on the 4-hour. Like once it confirms that cross, we had it was close here. It was close. I'm going to go down to the 30-minute and look at this. This was very close once this all went down. I'm going to go all the way down to the 4-hour, the lower time frame. So we had a lot of this going on, a lot of low volume candles in this area below the moving average. But on the 4-hour, we need to get above the moving averages. That shows that price is truly transitioning. Once it pops above, and that was July or August 11th at 9, because that's the beginning of the candle. So this was August 11th at 9 is when it finally pops above. Then we're waiting for our entry opportunity, guys, waiting for that first higher low, and we never get it. It just falls off. It just falls right off the table right there. So That's just a 4-hour candle breakdown to the lower time frame. No entry. This is not an entry, guys. We need below the 200-day. We're below the average of price. The momentum is bearish on this. Despite this pullback on a lower time frame, like the 5-minute, this is just a downtrend. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't break anything for me. So, if this truly transitions through the moving averages, that's when we're going to look for an entry. And, right now we got to be patient. Like, even though a bullish engulfing formed right here, if we go to the 30-minute, that doesn't do anything for us. This isn't a break of anything. This is like a 5-minute break of structure right here, right there. We more importantly need this to now break this level. We need this level to break higher, find the higher low, then go long. That's more ideally what we need to break, and that would push us through the moving averages. You know what I'm saying? On this 4-hour time frame, which is why it's key. Let's see.
Time frame correlation, baby. It's powerful.
Yeah, break of trend line, eminence cross. Yep. All right. So again, that's GU. That's what we're looking for. Let's go over to USEF. So GU and EU, we can comfortably sit on the 4-hour at the moment. So I'm just going to turn these to red. GU, just sitting on the 4-hour. Now let's go over to USEF. This is where things are about to get interesting. We could even have entry opportunities right now. On the weekly time frame, we've overall very bearish. Red over blue. We're coming to this monthly key level of support. We've got this doji candle forming, large wick on this bearish candle. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking for signs of reversal, but we can't do anything until the 4-hour at the minimum break structure. Look at this daily. Daily's this double top, rejecting that level. 4-hour, you know what I'm saying? Until on the 4-hour, this level is broken. Up here, we're in a downtrend. This is lower low, lower high, retest to the low, pull back. Now we're potentially forming our next lower high. I'm going to take this off, take this off. We're going to get an entry opportunity on this really soon. As I hit the 30-minute, this thing's falling, at the moment. And, aggressively, this is what I need. I need this 4-hour candle to close. It's about to close in 11 minutes, guys. So I need this 4-hour candle to close. And then I need some sort of pullback. I need some sort of pullback, retest, even if it's minor of this level. That's when we're going to look to enter on this. And I'm going to be fairly aggressive on USEF right now. Looking at this 4-hour time frame, we don't have much room because I'm going to continue to target this monthly level. This thing needs to break. So yeah, all I'm looking for right now is we need this 4-hour to close, very bearish. And then I need this to pull back and confirm a lower high. And that lower high is a very aggressive move because ultimately we need to get below this level. But I will consider entries on this. So right now we're looking for a pullback on this, retest the 200-day moving average. That'll be enough for me to get short. So I'm going to move USEF up my list. Potential trades coming on USEF today in the signals. Now let's hit NU. This one's crazy because NU played out really well, and NU shows that sometimes technicals will be on some pairs will be like ready before others. NU obviously correlates with other USD pairs, but NU can, like, at this weekly confluence level, actually gave a really nice setup that started to play out despite these other pairs not being ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Despite these other pairs not being ready yet, the 4-hour was ready on NU, and you got to just stick to the technicals. Like, this shit showed what it showed, and I should have made a play on it sooner than I did. So let's just start on the weekly time frame. Came to this top of this area, the supply zone, this trend line, formed this doji, formed this evening star that kind of failed, didn't actually cover half the body of this candle right here. Then I just came down to the daily. I was like, okay, daily is very bullish, doesn't tell me much right now. Then as I came to the 4-hour, this is when I started to see everything I needed to see. 4-hour time frame, had this trend line, was forming higher highs, higher low, higher high. Then we confirmed this higher low, double bottomed here. And then we actually made a new high, and then we broke lower. And we've been updating this, over the last 2 weeks. made this low, didn't want to enter down all the way down here, waited for the pullback, got the pullback, guys, got the pullback. And then this was the entry. Like, we got the pullback, and then this 4 hour was ascending, and we were waiting to see where it found resistance. And I'm just going to highlight this area right here where it inevitably started to fall. At the beginning of this falling out, we didn't break structure until here, right here. This is when we broke 30-minute. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean we're entering here, entering here, entering here. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for the pullbacks. We could have even got duped out right here on the 30-minute if we were too aggressive. And this shows, like, not everything's going to play out every time. We could have entered here. This was a lower high. This pulled back. This was a lower high. This pulled back. Maybe we put stops, like, right here on this entry, 20 pips. Even this one. Stops right here, 30 pips. And we would have got stopped. And then it came back again, pulled back. Even if we hit like the 1 hour time frame, then we could have bumped up. And then this on the 1 hour is really the entry. The 1 hour bearish engulfing through the moving average. Could have put stops at 40 pips right above this level. And then, we would already have been up 60 or so pips, all the way up to 70 pips. And we could have been maintaining this trade. Could have been maintaining this trade really well. So again, this is an example using multiple time frames, sometimes being too aggressive. I guess one thing I would say is 1 hour structure on this is very clean. You know what I'm saying? We have highs, higher low, high, and we break, lower low, lower high right here. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even really need to hit the 30-minute on this. How can we find the momentum? Any indicators? Yeah, we just use the moving averages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And price action.
And
Kind
price
of give us
and
confidence.
price action. Yeah. Price action is king. So
100%.
what are we looking for next on NU? NU, like, you guys got to realize now that this thing is trending, and I didn't even, what is DXY? What's the deal with DXY? It's going bearish again. Let's see. 4 hour came back
Kind
up.
of ranging still. Little reversal.
Came back up to retest this level. Yeah. DXY is just hovering below this monthly resistance level. You know what I'm saying? We need to pop up a little bit higher to really confirm that this is changing to be bullish. But NU, we're just going to look to continue to ride this trend. If DXY goes down, NU will pop up, and then and then if DXY goes back up, NU will go down. So we need to wait now for another pullback on this 4 hour time frame. Wait for a pullback into this area right here. Got the 200-day. We got resistance right here. And again, guys, this doesn't mean this will happen. This just means I'm drawing a confluence area. We've got resistance, got the 200-day moving average. This could be a potential lower high on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, if we come up to that level, bring on fibs. Boom, that would be like 618 area, which is a nice area to short off of, nice area for rejection. So NU, I can be patient on this, wait on the higher time frame. Last but not least, let's go over to GJ. Got some people in the chat. What denotes? There are many strategies with MAs. It depends what fits you. I use 8 and 50. Is it advisable? Can you explain how this MA works? Why do you use the 8 EMA and 18 MA? The 8 MA or the 8 EMA and 18 MA are good for like lower time frame for like intraday trend. Okay. The 200-day is going to be more long-term, last line of resistance, last line of support. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the deal. The lower moving averages, the 8 and 18, are good for trends. Good for 1 hour, good for 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Like they're good for trends. 200-day again is like last line of support. Think of it in turn, like just logically. Over the last 200 days, price has held above that level. You know what I'm saying? So price breaks below that level.
And again, it's the average, guys, too. So when you see price action start to stray from that average, there's a huge suggestion, like you can see here, that like price action is way above this 200 EMA. So that suggests that this is a very strong bullish trend, right? If you're looking at it from that
Yeah.
overall trend view from the 200 EMA, right? So there's lower time from MAs or more so average of, shorter amount of price action. So as it strays from that, you can either, capitalize on a transition, either a change of the average, or, it just helps you overall identify the trend.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest.
Now,
We sort of, for whatever reason, me and Nick learned from different people. He uses 8, I use 18. Or he uses 8 and 18. I use 8 and 18. We both use the same ones. And what I'll say, any moving average you can find a strategy around. You know what I'm saying? Any moving average you can. So if you have 8 and 50, I don't know if you've made those up out of your thin air. I feel like since me and Nick learned 8 and 18 from different people, it's a very popular one to use. You know what I'm saying? So, don't make up things out of thin air, but at the same time, get the chart time with the moving averages. You'll start to recognize patterns. No matter what you put on the chart, you'll recognize some sort of patterns. That's the only indicators we use, though. We don't use any others. I think we use these just because it makes sense. We want to look at the average. We use them for momentum.
And we've had a good amount of success using these moving averages. They've been tested hundreds and hundreds of hours through our back testing and our own strategy. So they definitely work for the way that we apply them. But also, real quick, if you want to learn more about moving averages, there's a video on YouTube, to market lesson video. You can go check that out. It covers MAs, and then obviously in our course and community, we have tons and tons of videos covering that topic. Okay.
Oh yeah. So let's go over to the weekly time frame on GJ. GJ is at a resistance level right now, but it's showing a lot of bullish pressure. So we could go higher. There's a lot of room for this to push on GJ. Got this trend line, got the 200-day. I'm just thinking in terms of, as bullish as this is, where's the next level in this downtrend we could find sellers? And that's up here. That's all the way up here. So as I hit the daily time frame, very bullish. This broke, made this higher low. Now we're on the way to make a new high. Again, broke above the 200-day. So this thing's getting really bullish. 4-hour time frame, just made a higher low. You know what I'm saying? This was the analysis earlier in the week. Either we're going to find support here, or we're going to break and we're going to go lower. Just made this higher low. So we can actually clean this up a little bit, move this a wee bit higher right here. And this is our new analysis. We're either going to pull back, find support, make a new high. You know what I'm saying? It's just bullish. So we're looking to be bullish on GJ, waiting for pullbacks. And that's pretty much it. So this was our live trading session for today. I'm going to just recap. Did GJ, wanted to get to US 30, but we ran out of time. Did NU, did GU, did EU, USEF, and UCAD. If you guys want to check out any of these analyses, you can go into our analysis chat. All of them were posted from earlier in the week. You can come in here, check this out. We've got a bunch of pairs in here for you guys, and we're only trying to get more in here as well. So come in here, check this out, completely free. Like Nick said, if you want to hit up a YouTube video, watch any of our YouTube, just go to our YouTube channel. And again, giveaway will be posted today, sooner than it was yesterday. So last call, put your name in the chat if you guys want to enter in on the giveaway. Yeah, Hanzino just put our YouTube channel in the chat, which is good.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. So, if you go over there and we'll be live again tomorrow, Thursday. Today's prime day to get into some setups, guys. So we'll keep you updated. Any of the lower time frame stuff, I'm going to put in the premium analysis for you guys. And if you guys want to get in on that, it's $7 one-time fee. So, check it out, $7 one-time fee. And, we'll see you guys on the next live session.
All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Peace.